going back. Now I'm laughing and I can't get my face to work right. Today on Homes and Lifestyles Canada, Anna Cummings with an antidote. Jeff Kahane has a legal minute. Our APHIS home inspector gives us some great advice. And our panel talks going green. Also on Homes and Lifestyles Canada, explore Bowness Park and check out some great home tours. Sponsored by Kahane Law and Hayworth. Good morning and welcome to Homes and Lifestyles Canada. I'm Kim Hayden, veteran real estate agent and your host. On today's show, we're discussing going green. We're joined by Marco Corello, Lance Floor, and Donald Jantz. But before we jump in, let's take the first stop on our home tour.
Hi, welcome in to 133 Masters Point. My name is Hannah Kazak, and I'm excited to show you this wonderful new listing in mahogany. I want to welcome you into the great room. This is a fantastic space to entertain and have your friends and family over. Lots of room for furniture arrangements, all tied in with this beautiful linear fireplace. You want to take a look at this impressive kitchen? Nice, clean, modern lines. You've got the built-in stove with the upgraded appliance package. And what's really fantastic and convenient is the walk-through butler's pantry. The dining room has plenty of space for seating up to 10 people. The fully finished basement features bedrooms 4 and 5, plus a full bathroom. The games room is perfect for those family game nights. What a great way to end your day in this spacious master retreat, featuring coffered ceilings and room for your king-size bed. Ensuite features double sinked vanity with granite countertops, corner soaker tub, glass enclosed oversized shower with feature tile design. Upstairs bonus room for those movie marathons. With bedrooms 2 and 3 and a private teen retreat, it's perfect for any family. And this beautiful landscaped backyard comes with your very own 3-hole putting green. All in all, this home is a hole-in-one. Thank you for joining me on this tour of this beautiful home with over 3,500 square feet of developed living space. This 2-story home features 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, located in the heart of mahogany with a south-facing backyard and upgrades throughout.
Welcome back, and we're talking going green. And green is a huge word, and it encompasses lots, eh?
It really does.
It really does. Let's start with Donald, actually, from Green Calgary. Tell me, what does Green Calgary do?
Green Calgary's a not-for-profit charity that's been around for 40 years, helping community really on their journey to sustainability. So they've run programs like rain barrel sales, and visited people's homes to help them reduce how much water they use, and all aspects of sustainability, helping just people wherever they are in their journey find that step forward.
It's all baby steps, eh?
It is all
little
baby
ones.
steps.
First step is the...
And you can be anywhere on that spectrum. You know, you can start with knowing nothing or feeling like you don't. We all do know things, to, you know, somebody who's really advanced. So wherever you are in that spectrum, Green Calgary can help you.
So when we hear the term green, eco-friendly, you know, environmentally friendly, what does green mean?
I'll
Lance,
dive in.
you dive in.
So green means so many things, but in the context of construction, right, it starts even with how we build homes, right? So it looks at things like waste stream. It looks at things like the carbon footprint of the whole process of building homes. It looks at the kind of energy we use while we're building the home. It looks at things like water conservation. And then it looks at things like how do people live in the home that can change their usage patterns in the home as well.
What does green mean to you?
Well, it means to be more efficient in the sense that if you're living in a home, what are some of the aspects that you can do, not only as behaviors, but what if you were to renovate your home, what kind of things can you do to make it more efficient?
You're just biting at the top. What does it mean to you?
There's so many aspects to it, and it's hard to know sometimes where to start. But going off that, I mean, it's as simple as reducing your waste, which often will reduce your expenses, reduce your costs. So putting a Nest or a smart thermometer on that controls your heat so it turns off when you're not there. It's not just green, but it actually saves you money. I think that's often the case.
Yeah, little things, even just like adjusting your or even getting like during the summer the water sprinkler timers, those types of things.
Timers, or on your Christmas lights, having a timer.
We'll get back to Lance from Built Green, but up next is the Antidote with Anna Cummings.
Hi, I'm Anna Cummings of A&A Interiors, and today we're talking about something close to my heart, and that's healthy living. It not only means taking care of ourselves inside and out, but also healthy living inside our homes too. For example, we've seen low VOC or no VOC paints for years now. VOC stands for volatile organic compound, which is a toxic emission that has been commonly associated with paint. Seeing as we are living in increasingly airtight homes, research has found that our indoor spaces are 5 to 10 times more polluted than our outdoor spaces, with the worst offenders being formaldehyde, solvents, VOCs, and other airborne pollutants. This can lead to health problems such as allergies and respiratory disorders. Well, now with today's technology, we are seeing smart flooring, which will actually filter the air the way trees do. There's a special titanium dioxide finish on this hardwood that purifies the air when toxic contaminants meet nanoparticles. It then converts them into simple water and carbon dioxide molecules. They say it's like having 3 trees in your home or having 85% cleaner air. The technology in this smart flooring is activated by light and air movement and will decompose up to 99.6% of bacteria, viruses, and mold. It can also reduce stubborn odors from cooking, smoke, or pets. There's a great YouTube video actually showing the toxin test on treated versus regular hardwood, and the results are amazing. There are so many applications for this hardwood flooring. I can see this working fantastically in apartments, condos, brand new homes, or newly renovated homes. Other ways we can introduce green or sustainable design into our homes would be using plants in our space, letting the sunshine into our home as much as possible, using organic or natural materials like stone, wood, and wool, and replacing old lighting and windows with energy-efficient options. Thanks again. Follow me at ANA_interiors for more ways to incorporate healthy living into your homes.
We're here in Cochrane, Alberta, to show you some of the things involved in building sustainable homes. Most people, when they think of a built green home, think of energy efficiency. There's lots of other reasons to build a built green home, and they include the building materials that we use. They generally are safer and healthier. There's a lower carbon footprint to the home in terms of we use less energy to build the home. It is more economical to operate, both in terms of energy use and requires less water. Let's go check out some of the specific details of a built green home. In a built green home, we use Energy Star rated appliances, which means they use less energy. And for something like a dishwasher, it also uses less water. On a lot of sustainable homes, you'll see motion activated lights in things like walk-in pantries and walk-in closets. And that's so that the homeowner doesn't have to remember to turn the light off when they leave. So in this house, we've got a pantry with a motion activated light. We're in the furnace or utility room of a built green home. You can see on this furnace it actually has a yellow label called an EnerGuide label. If you think back to the 70s or 80s, the furnaces in those homes were likely 80% efficient. In a modern, more sustainable home, the furnaces are 96 or 98% efficient. A heat recovery ventilator is essentially an air-to-air heat exchanger. As we bring fresh air in from outside, we preheat that air using heat scavenged or extracted from the exhaust air going out. As part of the Built Green program, the home receives 2 labels. One label is the EnerGuide label, which is a standard of Natural Resources Canada, or EnerCan. The other one is the Built Green level. It goes from bronze to platinum. We're at the hot water tank in the utility room. Unlike the appliances you saw upstairs, this is an Energy Star rated hot water tank. Unlike the hot water tanks you might be familiar with in an older home, this is a power vented hot water tank, which means it's more efficient to operate. We're in the undeveloped basement of a built green home, and we're here to point out a couple of the small details that wouldn't be readily apparent when you first walk through the home. One is we use low expansion foam around the window, and if you think about an older building practice, we would use fiberglass insulation, which is spun fiberglass. By using low expansion foam, it completely fills the cavity, it maintains its insulating value, and it doesn't deform the window frame. Another detail is something called an insulated rim joist, and a rim joist goes around the entire outside of the home. And typically in an older home, that would just be wood against the outside environment, maybe covered by an exterior cladding, but no insulating value. Here we use a spray foam insulation to cover the entire cavity from the outside of the wall to the inside of the basement wall, and you can even see a little bit beyond with the spray foam. We use the same material under cantilevers above a garage, underneath a completed bonus room. One additional detail I'd like to point out in this home is called a solar-ready rough-in. This is designed to allow the homeowner in the future to install both photovoltaic panels, which are to generate electricity, as well as solar thermal panels, which are used for hot water. In a built green home, we use triple glazed windows. The manufacturer fills the chambers between the panes with argon gas. In addition to that, they actually apply films to the glass that help keep heat in the home and also help keep out harmful ultraviolet rays. In a sustainable home, we pay attention to the kind of light that we use. And in a built green home, we use LED lights. They produce the same amount of light with much less energy. A built green home is independently certified and tested by a third party. Each home is built to a checklist, and the checklist describes all of the different things we're going to do to produce that built green home. Third-party certification programs like Built Green help move the sustainability agenda forward. For more information on builders that build built green homes, please visit the Built Green Canada website.
Okay, so Lance, tell me, from Built Green, what does that mean?
Built Green is a third-party certification program for new home construction, so both single family and also high density, so multifamily. And in addition to being a certification program, it's also about education. It's helping to educate builders on how to be more sustainable. We also work with municipalities on the impact of things like third-party rating systems.
So in Calgary surrounding areas, if we wanted to see an example of one of the projects you've worked with, where could we go? Or who has been part of that?
There's several leading builders in the Alberta market that are Built Green, certified Built Green builders. XL Homes is the builder I work for. There's also Homes by Jamin, or Jamin Built in this market.
Yes.
And Landmark, who's a
Okay.
major builder in the Edmonton area
Yes.
as well.
Excellent, excellent. I always like to see things. I need to know who's doing what. So up next, we'll check in with this week's APHIS Home Inspector.
Hello, my name is Wayne Finley of Finley Home Inspections. I am a licensed professional home inspector with APHIS. Today I'm talking about deck safety. First and foremost, consult your local building authority for code requirements. These are some of the items we look for in an inspection. Depending on how far off the ground your deck is built, that dictates the structure required. The ledger board is attached to the home and holds the deck to the house. It also includes how flashings have been installed to help keep water from entering the home and causing possible rot to the structure. Inspections also include how the ledger is attached to the home. These are special load requirements which can put a strain on the ledger attachment. Next to that, we'll look at the post, pilings, and main beam. Beam span load sizes are required for all of this. It is technical and there are charts available online. The next common mistake we look at is the stairs and how they are attached to ensure all steps are within 3/8 of an inch rise to each other. Lastly is the handrail height and spindles. In Alberta, if the deck floor is more than 6 feet off the ground, the rail must be 42 inches tall. Anything less than 6 feet can be 36 inches tall. All spindles must be within 4 inches of each other. I leave you with this picture of a deck gone wrong. Take care and have a good day.
Welcome to Bowness Park, a family-friendly destination just off the Bow River, located in Calgary's northwest. This 75-acre oasis opened in 1912, thanks to the vision of Calgary entrepreneur named John Hextall. During the summer, you can rent a canoe to cruise the lagoon, but in the winter, it transforms into an epic pleasure skating rink. The staging area with several natural gas fire pits helped to keep the visitors toasty before they venture down the skate-friendly walkway to the lagoon. Once on the ice, you'll find plenty of space to skate in the open area, where the sweet smell of firewood fills the air. And the big bonus at Bonus Park is to venture down the tree-lined inlet to the west. Other winter activities you can do here include cross-country skiing and the Olympic sport of curling. The University of Calgary's Outdoor Center provides curling rocks and brooms for you to give it a try. But if you'll excuse me, I'm going to give it a try myself. And here we go. And the combination of fresh air and exercise is bound to build up an appetite. Now, if you didn't get a chance to pack a snack before you left home, the Seasons Market has takeout food along with specialty tea, coffee, hot apple cider, and my favorite, Mexican hot chocolate. Or if you prefer a more civilized fine dining experience, be sure to check out Seasons of Bonus Park. It's a picture-perfect way to wrap up your visit to one of Calgary's most beautiful and visited parks. So Marco, you're an energy advisor. What is an energy advisor?
So what we do is we actually go into people's homes and we actually rate it. So the easiest way to explain is when you're buying an appliances, they actually have an energy rating on it. It has the Energy Guide. So what we do is we actually provide that for the homeowner. So we look at everything from your insulation, your orientation of the home. We look at your mechanical system, and then we input all of that information and we actually model it. And it breaks it down. It also it educates also the homeowner of where the energy is being spent, what they can do. And we take it as a whole approach. Like I'm really heavy into building science, so we cannot change one thing in a home without affecting the other. So we look at it as a holistic.
So the sequence of how to get.
Absolutely.
So, but then you have to have that first step, eh?
Absolutely. Like one of the most cost-effective ways of actually helping a homeowner is to help them understand how leaky their home is and where they can actually seal it. Another thing we also look at is energy efficiency is great, but we also need to look at what about the air quality? Because energy efficiency is great, but if you're not healthy in the home, well, that's going to be an issue too. So just to give you an example, if it's too tight, then you need to ventilate. So one of the factors, what we do right now is we call what's called a heat recovery ventilator, where we actually bring in the fresh air from the outside and we exhaust the stale air from the inside. But there's an actual heat exchanger. They don't actually mix, but it actually removes some of the energy from the one that's being exhausted and bring in the fresh air from the inside.
And can you pull from basement all the way up? So depending on time of year, you can actually circulate the home, keep it cooler, hotter, those types of things? Is there?
No, it's just to ventilate. It's not a matter of conditioning the air. It's more just to ventilate the home.
Just keep it clean, eh?
Yes.
So how can this?
Your heating system can do that. So most furnaces would have summer fans on them. And those actually you would use to help equalize the air temperature in the home, like in the summer. You're pulling cool air out of the basement and circulating it throughout the home. So your heating system can do that for you.
So instead of relocating to the basement, you have the fan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we'll continue this discussion, but first, a legal minute with Kahane Law.
Hi, I'm Jeff Kahane of Kahane Law Office, and I'm here to share legal insights for a happier real estate closing. I want to talk to you today about the best ways to really get what you want from a home from a legal perspective. You want to pay attention to three main things. A real property report's the first. That's going to give you a visual representation of the property, where the actual boundaries are, where the fences are, and so you know what you're really getting. It's also going to show some places where you can't build on if you want to build a gazebo or garage or something. Next, I want to talk to you about the registrations on title, and those, some of which will be on the real property report, but it'll tell you if there's restrictions about what you can do with the property, any kind of business you have there, the types of fences, types of roofing materials, color of the home, and also restrictions on where you can build for utility right-of-ways or overland water drainage issues. Lastly, I want to talk about drafting terms. If a seller is promising to do something, make sure the terms are drafted properly so you get the home that you want.
Calgary might be known for the oil and gas industry, but it's also a city for art lovers. Almost everywhere you look, downtown and beyond, there's a sculpture you can see for free.
Wonderland is Calgary's most photographed piece of public art, and it was built at zero cost to the taxpayer thanks to Encana and Synovus.
It's a 12-meter head of a young girl constructed from bent wire, and you can even step inside the sculpture for a different perspective. These powder-coated steel steeds celebrate the history of the horse in Canada. An identical sculpture was given to Calgary's sister city, Quebec. On 12th Avenue, the Chinook Arc is inspired by, you guessed it, a Chinook. Oh, and a streetcar loop that used to circle the Beltline. If you've ever wondered what's happening on the corner of 9th Ave and 3rd Street Southwest, it's an installation of several related yet distinct artworks, culminating with 2 bronze life-size figures on top of 15 feet of Rundlestone. It's all about measuring the immeasurable. It's not a sculpture, but the Peace Bridge adds an artful accent to the city, which required that no pillars go into the Bow River and no high masts interfere with a nearby helipad. It was a challenge that Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava took on with aplomb, building the bridge in patriotic Canadian red.
The bridge is 130 meters long and lights up at night with LED lights. With your eCalgary update, I'm Tiffany Burns.
Let's continue our discussion on going green. So we were talking about going green. Can it affect the value of the home?
Absolutely. If you were to take 2 similar homes, they're identical in all aspects, and you were to rate these 2 homes, and one would be a lot more energy efficient than the other, I think people would lean towards the one that's more energy efficient. You know, we go out, we buy food, we know how many calories are in there, or you're buying a car, you know how much fuel it takes or how much it costs. What we don't know is how much does it cost to operate a home. We know what our mortgage payments will be, we know what our taxes will be, but we don't know how much our operating costs will be. So that's what the energy label is there for.
Excellent, excellent. Are you seeing this effect in other markets? Are we seeing an impact with the green,
Yes.
building green?
From a number of standpoints, even appraisers are starting to comment on the fact if a home is a third-party certified Built Green home. And it's not just the Built Green certification, there are other certifications like LEED and Energy Star that have value. I know some realtors will actually mention if the home is a certified Built Green home in the listing. And I've noticed even in other parts of the world, you'll see different kinds of energy rating systems showing up on real estate listings.
So are you seeing anything with the green initiative in Calgary? What is something that you think is going to be the big impact for homeowners?
Well, there's so many changes going on with how we're building homes with the certification programs. The biggest changes, from my perspective, are along the lines of just finding ways to be more efficient. Energy isn't expensive in Calgary, but you never like to spend money on something that you don't see real value for. So reducing waste, and that's around having more tight homes that don't leak energy.
What are some creative space options? Because a lot of people are going down in size to be environmentally friendly. What are some things?
One that really comes to mind is with the advent of the bin programs. We've got a green bin, right, yes, for yard waste and organic waste. We've got the blue bin for recycling, and then our regular kitchen and household waste. What about making it easier to do that? What about making it easier to use those bins? Because what do you do with that stuff in your house until you take it out to the bin? So builders are starting to think about, well, how can we maybe create space in your pantry or in the rear entrance of your home or in your kitchen so that you can accumulate those things and then take them out to the bin? So we have to become more mindful and more thoughtful about how we accommodate that in the home.
And if we're going green, a few less pairs of shoes, a few more bins for recycle. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you don't.
Yeah, it's an excellent point. I recently did a renovation, and it hadn't occurred to us to ask for that, but I'd always compost out in my backyard. but it was a mess. My wife didn't like how it smelled. I don't think it smelled, but what our renovator put in, a pull-out thing. So our recycling has a spot, our compost has a spot, and it's out of the way, and it really works. So I agree with that. It's
And
really
and your wife's happy.
My wife is happy. Most important thing of all.
Most important, happy wife, happy life. Excellent, excellent. So when we're looking at green technologies, solar, geothermal, and wind, what do you, like in your crystal ball, what do you think? Where are we at with that? Where are we going?
Solar would be, because there's just so much potential, and the costs have just come down dramatically. Now, what I propose and what I tell most clients is, before we even talk about solar panels, we have to start thinking about conservation. It's a lot cheaper to conserve before we start to generate. So, but having said that, I'm sure Lance could expand on this, is a lot of, I say challenges with putting solar panels would be spaces on the roof. Also, the orientation is really important. So if you got a north-facing backyard, you're kind of limited.
Yes. Well, but technology, it's moving so rapidly.
Absolutely.
So maybe those north backyards won't be so hard to outfit in 10 years' time. Lance, what are you seeing between the three big ones?
Well, I agree on solar, and from a new build perspective, it's important to be thoughtful about what's going to make it easier to retrofit solar in the future. So NRCan, Natural Resources Canada, has a standard called Solar Ready. And so some builders, and the builder I work for, we do kind of a pre-rough-in for solar. So we think about the things that Marco talked about in terms of having adequate space on the roof for panels, like mounting points for panels, but then we also have conduits that get
through the home
down into your utility room. And then also we kind of rough in some connections into your hot water system, and we would create space for potentially batteries in the future, or an inverter, which you would need to run photovoltaic panels. So yeah, we're trying to be forward thinking in terms of making it easier to do those things later on.
One of the things I love about Canada in general is it's forward motion. Canadians think about not just today, but what's coming down the pipe. Where are we in the world, like when it comes to the green initiative? I know that we've got, all the lands, Finland and Greenland and Iceland and Sweden, and all those places are eons ahead of us. But aside from that area of the world, where are we within that status? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I would say we've got lots of work to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say we've got lots of work
We're
to do.
doing all right, but there's so much to do. And what's interesting to me is it's not like this burden. It's this huge opportunity with the change with solar panels getting cheaper and energy changing how we use it. It's a business opportunity that could power generations to come. At the same time, it just reduces to nothing our impact on where we are, like where we live. So it's this huge win-win kind of situation that if we embrace it, we'll just be so much better off.
And I think that with oil taking the dip that it's taken, I think that it's allowed us to redirect our energies. And we're looking at things that we may not have looked at when we were still riding on the high of the oil. So are you seeing that come back, with the change in people's direction or intent here in Calgary?
The desire not to waste becomes a little more intense when you have less, to waste. And we're so rich, we don't even realize it sometimes. So yeah, I think it's a good time to think about these things and adjust a little bit and open up these opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Homes and Lifestyles Canada, shot on location at Hayworth. Hair and makeup provided by Swizzlesticks SalonSpa. Wardrobe by Bellissima. A big thanks to our sponsors and supporters: A&A Interiors, Hayden Law, Hayworth, Canada Mortgage Direct, APIS, and Design.